there you go. All right, now we're on. Okay, so we're live. Steve, you're good. You're good. Everybody's good up here? Yep. Monica, are you good? All right, time is 7:06. Everybody please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you for coming to our deliberation portion of this entire process. Deliberations are generally going to be periods of not talking, doing a lot of calculations, talking amongst ourselves up here, working out numbers and figures. So this is the first time that we've done this in a live situation. So we'll see how this goes. Before we get started, I want to introduce everybody here that's on the board. Down on my left is Lucy McConaughey. Next to her is Jim Cretella. Next to me is Bev Kennedy. On my right is Betty Ann Peck. We got Kristen Hanowitz. Over we have Tracy Rappa, who's an alternate. She's here for Carol Mordawanek tonight. And then our alternate, Tom Schutte, who's over there. So we'll move on to the seating of the alternates. I'd like to entertain a motion to seat Carol Mordawanek, or Tracy Rappa in replacement of Carol Mordawanek tonight.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Okay, motion by Jim, second by Kristen. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Chair votes aye. Motion carries. Item number 3, our first of 2 public comments tonight. Public comment going once. Public comment going twice. Public comment going 3 times. Our first public comment is closed. All right, item number 4, deliberations. So I think the way we'll do this year is like general questions that we have, not really pertaining to the expenditures. I think what we'll do is we'll shoot them out to Jason first in regards to, like, I know Bev had a question on the fund balance, things like that. So right now, if anybody has any general questions for Jason before we begin actually going through the expenditures. And tonight's focus, just so everybody is aware, we will just be going over expenditures tonight. Wednesday, we'll be going over the revenue, and then next Monday, we'll be going over Board of Education, putting it all together, and then wrapping it up. So just so everybody's on the same page. So we won't be talking about revenues tonight. We won't be talking about the Board of Education tonight. That will revenues again Wednesday, Board of Ed on Monday. So with that, let's open it up here for just any general questions that we have that need to ask Jason anything or.
Okay, I had asked Jason to get me the fund balance total. Because I see we want to use $250,000 of it for this year's budget.
It was 250, correct?
250 they want to use,
Right.
Yeah.
Right, so we got some preliminary numbers from the auditors in.
Okay.
And there's going to be, as it is now in draft format, an increase in the fund balance.
Okay.
As a result of last year's audit.
Okay, and so what is that balance?
It's approximately, like I said, just in draft format, so it's
Right.
approximately 500.
500,
An increase of 500?
$500 or 500,000?
500,000.
Thank you.
Okay, and can you get me the numbers of the fund balance?
Yes, as I mentioned at the last meeting, we would have thought the audit would be completed by now, but the auditors, they're having some, I guess, internally they're delayed, so they're anticipating having a final report done in April.
So, just to follow up on that question, what is the balance in the fund balance prior to the audit?
I can look up those numbers and I can get them free. I'll have them free on Wednesday after last year's audit.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anybody else have any general questions for Jason?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the department request full year column, shouldn't that be what was presented to us, those numbers? Because some of them are,
Different.
they're not drastically different, but they're not what we reviewed in the meetings.
Yes, you will notice that a couple of those items have changed. I do have the actual department request here, but the way the formulas were driven in the spreadsheet, we had to make a couple of adjustments in order to have accurate percent increases in terms of, and in order to calculate the mill rate increase. So we did go ahead and we just made a couple of adjustments. So you will see the department requests are not exactly as they are on the spreadsheet, but I do have a copy here of each individual department, and we can go over those in detail when we get there. But it's just a
Okay.
couple of accounts.
Okay.
Okay, and then just to follow up on that question, between our presentations from the departments up until now, has there been any departmental request changes? Like, for example, like if Public Works came to you and said, oh, I need to add something, or we need to take something away.
I haven't had any, no.
No. Okay. All right. Thank you. Any other questions for Jason?
I have just a quick question.
Go
Do
ahead.
you have that list of which particular ones changed that we can concentrate on?
The ones that I updated in the department,
Mhm.
yes, it's a couple of salaries on each different line item. So when we get there, I'll point them out.
Okay, very good, thank you.
And to follow up on Rich, your question from a couple seconds ago, the police, I don't know if you remember, that was way back, it was the first.
Yeah, it was about our first presentation, right?
2400 was adjusted, so it's updated now. In your printouts, it's updated here online as well.
Okay. Any other questions for Jason before we start rolling through this? Lucy, you're good down there?
I'm good, John.
Okay. I don't know. You and Tom seem so far away. Like
I know,
wish we
it's-
were
it
able to just
feels-
maybe get a little bit closer here with some of this. All right. Then, without any further ado, we'll just start off with our expenditures. So we'll be working on this sheet here, the expense sheet. Everybody's got that,
No
and we'll
pages,
start at the top.
no page numbers.
It's the section after the revenues.
Yep, that's what I'm on.
There we go.
Starts with
Board
the
of
Board of
Finance.
All right, so we will
37.
start up top with the Board of Finance. Looking at this, there is no change between the department requests and the first selectman requests. Is everybody okay with that?
Now I have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um,
It's Mr. Chairman stuff.
okay.
What's up?
Under the auditing, we have auditing in at 45,000. Have we gone out to bid for the new auditors? Because I haven't seen anything. And usually the finance board was involved in that.
Yes, we haven't done it yet, but we are preparing to do it. This is the last year of the contract for our current auditing firm, and
Yep.
we're going to go out to bid.
Okay, and you think that there's going to be a decrease in those services?
That's the expectation. Well, not a decrease in the services.
No, but I
A
mean a
decrease in the
decrease in the
cost.
price, yeah. About 25,000.
Please.
Going from 70 to 45.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, anybody else have any other questions for the Board of
Not for
Finance?
not for that department.
Okay. Moving on, town meetings and public hearings. So looking at this again, no change between what the request is and what the first selectwoman's request is.
I have one
Go
question.
for it.
Okay, I see that our actual is 13.5 for other town meetings printing. And I thought that anything that went over the budget had to come before the finance department to be approved before we spent anything in that line item.
Yeah, so that is a current placeholder for the fireworks transfer. That's pending. We've mentioned that at almost every single meeting. It's been on the spreadsheet.
It's for the fireworks transfer?
For the fireworks, yes, we have fireworks in over the summer.
Yeah, okay. Okay, but I thought we had that in the events committee.
If I may, through the chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
So that is the one that we do in July that we receive donations from. So that was in there.
It's just a placeholder until.
So do we have revenue to offset that?
The first select one we just mentioned, there will be, yes.
There will be.
Or,
Okay.
or is, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so just make a note on that, that revenue incoming. Okay. Probate court. That is one of those that is what it is. So it looks here like, Jason, it was originally calculated for 9,956, and it went up to 10,000. That's just what the probate court fee is, right? Might as well keep that on.
Yeah, I didn't want the battery to die. I know you guys have a lot of problems with those up there. Yeah, I think we just rounded up to 10,000 for simplicity.
Okay, so probate court. All right, selectman's office. So that one, the department request is the exact same as the first select woman's request because it's their budget. Okay, so does anybody have anything they want to take a look at in the selectman's office budget line item? Like I said, we're not doing this formal tonight. We're not going to go down the line. So anybody that's got anything, just speak up.
Okay. I want to ask about the general supplies.
Okay.
It shows we spent $31.32 so far, and we only had in the budget $2,000. Is that another placeholder?
That was my question.
We'll have to do a journal entry to move some of those excess costs to a different line item.
Okay, so
So you guys will do like
know
a
what line item
transfer
they would
type
go-
thing?
yeah.
Just do an internal transfer.
Okay.
okay,
First
but
selectmen's fund.
all right, so that'll be corrected by the next Wednesday. Can we correct that?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So
Tracy, you have one?
Yeah, I have a question on the CAO position. It was budgeted for 95, and we've already spent 78, and now it's going to 135. So
Yeah, what was that?
what was the rationale behind that 60% increase?
If I could, through the chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
So when that position took place, it was always 135. When we hired the CAO, it went out, and that was the payment plan to what it would cost for a CAO to come in. So what we did is we had one position open, so we were taking the money from that position to fill that position.
So the prior
Should've
year
been.
CAOs, those,
He wasn't
It wasn't
a
in
CAO.
there.
oh, he
He was
wasn't.
the chief of staff.
So that's misleading then. Okay.
Okay, so the actual CAO salary then is 135,813. Okay.
And you said the extra funds came from a position that wasn't
It
filled.
was the projects coordinator, which is the open position. Well, if you're seeing the actual.
Okay, right below it. Yep.
Yeah.
Minus 100%. Okay. All right, yeah, I see that here as well. Okay. Anything else?
So when that position reaches 95,000, when you pay 95,000, you'll have to come before the Board of Finance to approve that transfer from the other line item.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you will because it'll be over the 95.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
When we do the budget next year,
Okay. Anything else pertaining to the selectman's office? budget? Lucy? Oh, you good? Oh, I thought you had a question. Okay. Everybody's good to move on? Okay. Economic development. Okay, economic development was looking for about 86,500. First select woman's budget prescribed 81,500. And just so everybody kind of knows, you've spoken with some of the all of the department heads, and they're all good to go with on most of this, right?
If I could through the chair.
Yep.
So when the department heads, when we have our meeting in January, we meet all together. Then the department heads present their budget to this board. Then after department heads, except for the Board of Education, because she reports to the Board of Education.
Mhm.
So when the department heads do their budgets, they come to me, we sit down, we say, what is real, what is fantasy, what are the needs, what are the wants?
Right.
So they know what they're getting when I do my budget.
Right. Okay. Now, I mean, I think we all kind of knew that, but I think it's important for our viewers at home to know how the process usually goes. It gets streamlined after they present to us, and that is how our first selectwoman comes up to craft her budget that we're looking at now.
I have a question.
Yes. So, yeah, economic development questions.
Other
Go ahead.
professional services, specify again, please.
Through the chair, okay.
Mhm.
So what we found out is when we get the grants through the state,
Mhm.
that engineering costs are not covered in grants. They're not covered in any grants. So the engineering cost or any other fees, such as if we have to do a light pole with wiring or running HVAC, we have to have that covered in there. So engineering fees, we increased more because now we have to have him do additional drawings. Or we may have to have him do surveys. That's why we put more in the professional fees.
Okay, and that also would be a transfer because we're already at 15.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other questions on economic development?
I have
Yes, Lucy.
just clarification. You have the decorative banners and the spring planting under that. How come it's under that rather than under your regular budget or somewhere else?
Spring planting budget and landscaping, if I could through the chair, has always been on that line item. That's a separate line
Mhm.
item.
Economic
No, it just-
development
it
is
just
always
kind
taking
of-
care of that.
Yeah.
I just needed some
That's separate.
explanation. It seems strange to be under
Right.
economic development.
Yeah, well, because they're involved in the whole beautification of the downtown, putting out the banners for the various events, things of that nature. That's kind of where that's where these things get housed every year in the budget.
I kind of thought that was under cultural arts, but I guess it's not. Okay.
They have their own decorations that they use for certain events.
And then you use the other ones. Okay,
Right.
just confused.
All right. Any other questions on economic development's budget?
I got 2 transfers.
Anybody? Okay, moving on. Registrar of Voters. Okay, Registrar of Voters was looking for 100,700, and first select woman's budget 90. What is that? 96.
No, 94.
90,400.
190. Got a little smudge here. Okay, 90,400, and that also takes into consideration the early voting and everything.
And the 5 votes.
And so, does anybody have any questions in regards to the Registrar of Voters line item?
We've already spent the 2,000, and what was that referencing? I'm sorry, never mind.
after.
Everybody else?
Yeah, I have a question on that 10,500 for the early voting supplies.
That's where it was.
Is that a placeholder? Or did we start to spend that already?
That's,
Yeah, so that would be
440.
they also received a grant for 10,500. That's for this fiscal year. For the early voting, that's gonna take place in April. I
Okay,
think what this budget is for is for the next fiscal year. So the
Mhm.
presidential election, there's gonna be, as she mentioned when she was doing her presentation, the 12 or 14 days of early voting. That's
Right.
gonna take
yeah,
place.
but the department request, it should be under the department request.
Yes.
It's under actuals.
If I may through the chair.
Yep.
So if you notice in the budget fiscal year 2023-2024, former Chair Sawicki put $1 in there as a placeholder, knowing that we would be getting this grant because we had the early voting coming in for the primaries happening in April.
yes.
We
Right.
did not have a dollar amount. That's why the dollar is in there. The 10,500 is the grant that we just received from the state of Connecticut for the April primary.
Okay.
But shouldn't that go under revenues?
It cannot go in the ninth revenue yet. Next year, when we receive money for the November election for them, that's when we'll put it in revenue. If we receive money. We don't know if we're gonna receive money from them yet.
So in the original submission for the early voting supplies for 2024 and 2025, she had 2,000 in there. That's now gone.
The 2,500.
Oh, it's back on there.
Wait, hang on.
No, that's the next line item down. That's
Yeah, that's
for the
education.
education.
Meetings and seminars.
Right, and she had zeroed that there was nothing in the original budget for the
Right.
training and seminars. Now there's 2,500 in it. That's why when I was looking, comparing what was submitted to this sheet, I was getting confused because it wasn't the same, and this is one of the items. I should say two of the items. She had 2,000 for early voting supplies, nothing for training. Now there's money in there for training and nothing for voting supplies.
I think we need
Page 15 in the binder.
Voting.
I would have to double check that because
Thank
when she, right before she gave her presentation, she provided an updated, that day, she provided an updated budget. So I'll have to double check those numbers
I got nothing.
and revert back. So you can obviously see that she has education
Why do I see nothing in this?
and seminars every single year.
Right, I got nothing in my binder for that.
Okay. So her department request for 24-25 is $105,300. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't have one in mine.
All right. So Jason, if you could you just double check this particular department to just make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be on the sheet?
Absolutely.
Because
Doesn't jive.
yeah, there's a few things that are weird on this particular one. It just might be either computing or formatting on the actual program itself.
I'll double check her submission.
Okay, thank you. All right, so anybody else have anything on that? We will revisit the registrar of voters on Wednesday once we get some update.
I mean, it's not a lot of money. I just,
No,
Yeah.
but I think
it's just, I want to make sure it's in the right line item because,
right.
It's not matching.
right. It's
Yeah,
not matching.
something's definitely weird, and I think this is more of like a program issue with software or whatnot. Just taking a look at that,
So
but
that's
we will
Wednesday?
verify on Wednesday. So I will make a note that we will come back to this. All right, everybody good to move on?
Yes.
Okay, Finance Department. That's next up on the list. So let's go down here. Department was looking for 390,079, and First Select Woman's got 390,079. That is what it is. There's no change there. Anybody have any questions on anything pertaining to the Finance Department budget?
I do.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I want to question the part-time payroll person. We're going up 31% increase on what we had before. Is that a contract position or no?
Oh, I think if I recall correctly, remember last year their salary came in after this process was done when the contract negotiations
Yeah,
came
but that
in.
would have been 2.49%.
Right, but there's the holdover. Jason, am I
All right, I don't
explaining
know.
that correctly?
You are explaining that correctly. That's part of it. The additional salary that we're looking for, as I explained during the presentation, was we have an intern right now doing the accounts payable position. That internship is expiring either July or August. So we're going to need to train a new accounts payable person. The current payroll person has some experience, so they most likely will be coming in an extra day and sitting down with them. And that day will probably be Thursdays to assist in the payable process.
Okay, and we have a full-time payable person now?
That's the intern that I just described.
Oh, just the intern. So are we going to be still out of part-time payroll person?
No, we have our payroll person.
Oh, you have a
Who
payroll
who
person?
works 19 and a half hours a week,
Okay,
but we extended her hours to assist in the training of the accounts payable person. That's what I'm anticipating is going to happen in July or August when the intern leaves. And we get a new payable person. It's going to take a little time to get a new person in here, so she's going to assist in doing some payables until we get somebody on board.
okay.
If I could through the chair.
Yeah.
Once they go over 19 and a half hours, we then have to put money in towards the MRF.
The benefits and all of that.
And the original request for the director that was submitted to us was 145, so now that's been updated to 150.
Yes,
Don't see that.
the director was looking for 145, and through the pay scale, the minimum, you're not gonna find a finance director for under $150,000. So we went up to $150,000.
Okay.
And that was different than what was posted.
150 is in scale.
Oh, there's no argument.
You couldn't pay me enough to do that. Well,
Oh, come on, it's fun.
actually, we're doing it for free right now.
Just gonna say, your rates just decreased dramatically.
You're right.
Thank you for playing.
Okay, any other questions on the Finance Department before?
Yes, I have
Go
a
ahead,
question
Debbie.
on the ADP services.
Yes.
We were gonna,
Oh, yes.
We were going to get
Yes.
a copy of the bill or something. Can I get a copy of the bill of the ADP
We were,
to go up to 68,000 from 33,475?
we'd asked for that last week.
Right, so the bill hasn't changed. The bill is still the same almost every single pay cycle.
Okay, but the thing, yeah, but how many employees do we have in town that we're paying for this ADP?
100 and change? 120? Plus or minus?
One-
If I could through the chair. The reason I believe that they're asking that question is because I have to go find it. All right, it's because it's at the 68,000, which is what the actual bill is. But if you'll look through the years past, 26.2, 27.5, 29.4, 32.5, 33.4, current year 41.6. So what they're looking for, and I believe me, and correct me if I'm wrong, is how did it go from all that to 68,000? So you just
Correct.
want the explanation.
Yes.
Yes.
Which we needed asked for last week.
Yeah, Yes, but understand, please, board, that there's only two people really working, and we're still trying to figure.
Oh,
this
no,
out.
and that's all good. So, because had the same question.
Is it transactional, ADP?
So there's two separate invoices that we have. One is time and attendance for those that punch in and punch out, I guess you can say, and they do that just remotely through their, by logging into the computer.
Yep.
And then we have just a regular platform, which is the ADP. ADP's always been pretty much the same amount. I understand what you see in the actual columns there, but half, as I explained last week, half has been posted to this account and half was posted to other expense accounts. Now we're bringing it all under the finance department
Yep.
and putting it right on the ADP.
I remember
line.
the conversation, thank
Which
you.
is-
Yeah,
Okay, so
got it.
it's a
Yep.
consolidation
It's
thing.
it's a
Somewhat like
combination.
what we did with
Got
the
it.
IT department,
Yes.
Right.
communications, all of that.
But I went through the other departments and I didn't find anything for ADP, so that's why I'm questioning it. And I was told that last week that you said that Doug coded it to different accounts, and I don't see any credits in any other accounts to offset this. So I'm a little concerned about it.
Concern?
Well, concerned, I just want to know what the bill is, what the actual bill is. I'd like to see a bill.
$68,000 is the estimated expenditure for next year. So last year, there was money left over in accounts payable, and there was reclassed to that line item.
Okay, but now it's over budget. It says here we've already spent 41,656, and we only had in the budget 33,475. Why didn't you come before the finance board to get a transfer?
I could put a transfer in for next month. Can't not do payroll, have to continue.
No, I know you have to
payroll.
do payroll, but I just don't understand how you could keep paying it and it's over the budget and nobody questions it.
Well, we noticed it when we were putting the budget together, which is why I explained during my presentation, and then again after the meeting last week. I explained what was going on with that account.
I would feel more comfortable if I could get a copy of the bill. Is that something that I can do?
Sure.
You have access to the bill.
Okay.
Okay, please.
Okay, that's all I have.
To the chair, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, as you know, with our last finance man, with the last thing that happened, we are finding that things were put in different line items, coded as different things, and not where they should be. So we are making the corrections where everything should be in the proper line items and ensuring that everything is coded correctly.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
So those will come up occasionally and need to be.
As we
Duly
are digging
noted.
through things, we are finding things and correcting things.
Okay, thanks.
Just so everybody knows what we're looking at. We'll pass it around.
Yeah.
Yep.
These are monthly invoices from ADP. Yes.
This is the month of February.
So let's see what we got there.
Oh, yeah, they're all different, so they all have different processing fees. So what you have is here's one for February for $869.78. 117 people. Okay. I'll just copy it. Numbers help. I don't want to hold you all up, so.
This is the part where we should have some type of intro music.
No,
No.
no. I have,
But
I have a question while
this is
we're.
what we do during deliberations every
This is
year.
what we
So,
do on top of the other hours.
you know, we add things up. And,
Alright. So, question.
So,
to the chair.
sorry, through the chair, I know you guys can see that, and we are live streaming on YouTube, and we are live streaming on Facebook. Can you just tell us what the monthly, because curious minds would like to know what the monthly bills are for ADP?
they vary, but they're in the ballpark of like
It's about
$3,317
about
a month.
$4,300. Yeah.
So between $3,715 $4,000 a month times 12 gives you.
About 48,000.
And then there's some additional costs. to it.
Right. There's 48. There's the W-2s. But W-2s they have 229. Do we do the payroll for the Board of Ed too, or no? In this? No.
No, they
No.
have their own payroll.
Okay.
So, well,
Okay.
question to the chair.
Mhm.
As we're going through this, are there any notable points of interest for us to look out for as we're deliberating with things that are being found or discovered?
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
Okay. Just
We're going through
No, I
line
just-
by line here.
No, okay, just okay.
We're going to stay on task with each department.
Yep.
The way we've been doing it for 15 years or whatever.
I know. It's just a surprise.
I call them Dougisms. Yeah, this one was like 4,700.
Right. It depends on the month how many
Right.
people are being paid. It depends if there's a 4 or 5 week pay run in that month. You know.
Yeah, just taking a look at this,
48.
it all pretty
Yeah,
much
but then-
adds up.
But see, they didn't have September. I don't have a bill in here for September. So it's like either we're missing some bills or
I would estimate September is pretty much the same as either August or October.
okay.
But the variations are high. We're around 4,800. Still about 57.
All right, so let's pass this down just so everybody can get eyes on that. You're good?
It's still 50s.
Oh, here, I'll send it back this way. I just
Okay.
you looked at it already? Okay. There you go. Okay. And while everybody's reviewing that on this end of the table, does anybody down here have anything else in regards to the finance department?
This incidental goes with this incidental. Absolutely. So that covers both of them. Up there. No, there's September.
Based on September.
I'm looking at a September here.
Yeah, there was one at the back of it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's July, August. Should be July and August, right?
Yeah. For the paid, what is it?
The current bills are lower.
Yeah, would July, August be higher because of seasonal employees? Probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Seasonal employees affect the
July and
July and
August.
August.
They do, yes.
Mhm.
Number of transactions,
Right.
summer camps, time and attendance,
Mhm.
additional services when we do, you know, sick pay and other analysis.
January. February. then that's another. Supplemental. And then these are paid together. So the difference between the 530 and the 12, so that fluctuates. Okay.
Okay. So we'll just send that folder down to.
Yep, we were just sharing. We were just sharing, so we didn't have to
Right.
do it
No, that's good.
twice.
Okay. So yeah, just taking a scan over all of that, it does add up.
Not quite.
Almost. It's
I would come
it's
more.
pretty
I would
close. I
come.
mean, off the top of my head. So we've pretty much now with this all consolidated, we're not gonna have to worry about that moving forward. It's all properly in the right line item now for the amount that it's going to be every year moving forward.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for the finance department? No. Bev, you're good.
Yeah.
Are you good?
Mhm.
Okay.
Good.
All right. Moving on. Tax collector. So the tax collector was looking for 215,386. The first select woman came up with 193,552. And that, I believe, is because there was a position that was requested that was no longer needed. And does anybody have any questions there?
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
Yeah.
This is one of the departments that I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, or the beginning of the meeting tonight. That there was initially a department request, 22,841 for a part-time employee.
Mhm.
That's not on the spreadsheet we have here.
And that position has since been withdrawn for consideration.
Go back to the future.
Mhm.
So that position was originally, we were looking at, taking the, wastewater treatment payments. Part-time person, the owner was gonna give us a part-time person
Mm-hmm.
at town hall to collect the wastewater treatment, which your waste, your sewer and your water bill, payments, and they're gonna be there. to do it, but since then, it has been withdrawn. We are not sure if they're going to, where they're gonna put this person still, if it's still gonna be at the WPCA, or if it will be coming to town hall. It would only be a part-time person, they would be on their payroll, not our payroll.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
But then the regular
just have
salary
one
line
question.
went up from 60.
So the regular salary line went up because we were during contracts when this last budget was gone through. And she is, I believe there's a step in there.
Yes.
Yeah, she went from it was 62, now it's 83.
Tax
What,
collector?
what we were given was 62. And now it's 83.
Because it was a raise and it was a step.
A raise and a step.
raise and a step.
Thank you. So
Lucy, you had a question?
The overtime. Did the department head request overtime? And it's not shown here,
That is correct.
so it's like no request. Okay. Just, thank you.
Okay.
That was traditional.
just for my education, so how does a person go from step to step? I mean, I hear about these steps, right? There's step 1 through.
it's based on, at least for the town side, based on maybe number of years, experience. When you get to the Board of Ed, as you heard during their presentation, it's based on degree, number of years experience, and some other factors would be included in that. So if I'm a first-time person coming in,
Yep.
I'm at step one. As I gain experience and years of service, you increase.
Does performance have anything to do with it or no? Because it's a union, it
It's a
goes step
union.
by step.
Through the chair, if I may,
Mhm.
it's a union contract, so it has nothing to do with performance or evaluation. They get the set raise that they bargained for in their contract, as well as the stuff that is bargained in their contract.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I'm a tax collector. Moving on, town treasurer. Okay. They were looking for 10,400. Our select woman's looking for 10,400 on there. That is what it is. It's kind of doesn't change every year. The only thing there is salary. Everybody's okay with that?
Does everybody know who the town treasurer is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Kurt Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
So-
And then we also have backup town treasurer too. Who's our backup town treasurer?
The chair, Bill Sawicki, Kurt Miller's been our town treasurer since 2020. 10,400 is what all town treasurers are making throughout. We looked at that. Chris Pelosi also did a pay plan through that throughout the communities, same size as our service.
Okay, anything else on town treasurer? Okay, moving on, assessor's office. Okay, assessor's looking for 205,749. First select one's looking for 176,750. Would anybody have anything they want to discuss with the assessor's office?
Is that in direct relation with the salary being a certified?
If I could do the chair.
Mm-hmm.
So as we spoke about shared services, we, through the, interdepartments, we are looking at shared services and regionalization through other towns. So that salary denotes half of an assessor in another town who will come in, help with the, do what the assessor does, work with the field people and sign our grant list.
All right, so instead of having a
Full-time
budgeted
assessor.
for full time, we're
Right.
going to share one, half the cost, half the work with another town.
Right, and just so the department knows that we will not be covering this, that half of that salary includes what their health insurance would be, what their MRF would be, but they wouldn't be on our payroll, so in case they received any injuries, they are on the other towns. Workers' compensation.
It's a good deal for us.
Even if they get hurt on our property. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm all about shared services, I think, because it just makes sense. Okay. Anything else on the assessor's office?
Can someone tell us something about this equipment for the signed grant list? The $3,000?
What number?
Oh, so
That's the 3,000.
740.
3,000.
Oh, okay. Equipment signed grant list. Got it.
So that actually has to come out.
That has to come out?
The shared service and with them on that, they sign the grant list, so that comes out.
All of it or half of it?
All of it.
All right, Jason, we have our first entry in the fiscal year Board of Finance column.
Okay.
So just remove that figure.
It's live.
Oh, you just did?
Just did.
That's beautiful.
You're hired.
Excellent.
Good.
Now with this change, we'll need a new printout of this for Wednesday. We were doing pretty good there with the paper.
We're fine. Fine.
All right. Assessment appeals. That is what it is.
There's nothing
And
there.
actually, they
Is
don't
there?
have anything this year. They don't have a board secretary anymore?
Through the chair.
Yeah.
Secretaries are paid through the board secretary fees, which is in another line.
Okay, so that was consolidated again as well this year.
Yes.
Cool.
Last year too.
Nobody's got any questions on that, right?
No, that stands with the other years before that.
Yeah. Okay, moving through town council. So initially, this is usually a figure that's worked out between the finance office and the select woman's office to begin with. So originally they came to us with a 295,000, and between then and now, they felt that it should be increased to 318,000. I'm assuming that's because there's a little bit more legal work coming down the pike.
And also our legal, our council has increased their billing rate for the next fiscal year.
Ah,
Of course they did.
okay. Just like with everything else, inflation.
Through the chair, they haven't raised their rates in 10 years.
No, listen, that's understandable. You know, they do a fair amount. Anybody have any questions in regards to the town council? Again, that's one that kind of is what it is. If they're increasing their
Nope.
fees, everybody
No, clerk.
else is increasing their fees around us.
Just another chicken finger.
Okay, town clerk. That's the next one. So they were looking for 195,275. First elect woman was looking for 173,670.
Where's that 45?
And that was mainly with regular employee salary there.
25,000.
So they were asking for a part-time person that went away.
Through the chair.
Yep.
Yes, we have got long and hard about part-time employees for each of our departments. We've got long and hard about putting floaters in. We are using interns through college, to help them out, which come at a lower
Yep.
cost. They don't have to be in the union. We don't have to give them
Right.
not to sound so cheap, but we're looking at
It's the way to do it.
ways to save money. It gives the kids a little extra spending money, plus it also helps them to learn how government works.
Any questions on that? Town clerk.
The increase in the director, that was a late contract.
Yeah, that was the same thing. Late contract, prorate, or carryover. Okay, moving on. Printing and legal ads. Again, that is kind of what it is. 13,500 across both columns here. Any questions on that? Everybody's good with that down here? Moving through town planner. Town planner is looking for 56,000. First select woman says that's good, 56,000. Again, that's another one that is what it is.
Contract, yep.
You know, it's the director salary, and they don't really think they have much equipment at all.
Through the chair,
Yes.
sorry. Just to make sure everybody understands what that is, because I did not go line item by line item with my budget. The town planner, we get through the NBCOG, the North Valley Council of Government. So he is here a couple of days during the week. He attends our appeal board meeting. He also attends our planning and zoning meetings. So he is a shared with other towns regionalization.
Okay. Any questions on that? Again, that one's another very straightforward thing. Okay. Town computers and data processing.
Oh, boy.
IT. Right. Okay. So came to us looking for 521,578, and the first select woman came to us with 521,578. So that is the same. And as we all know, technology is ridiculously expensive. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts on the IT budget?
So he had different accounts, what he submitted. So I'm assuming where it is now on this sheet of what he requested is right, or what he requested originally. Just want to make sure we have the right accounts.
If you recall also during that last meeting, when he came in with a new budget that night.
Correct.
So I'm not sure if you're referencing what's in your binder.
Yes.
I can get you another printout if you don't have the most up to date.
Okay.
We're okay here.
That's fine. I just want to make sure.
I have a,
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question regarding that. So the communications and telephones on all the other budgets, I see a 0 at Register of Voters, 0 through, and that's just going to compute.
Through the chair, if I may.
Mhm.
So we have taken all computers and all telephones and all communications on the town side for each department on the town side, and we have put it into the IT
Mhm.
site. So you won't see that in any other budget one.
We
So
would
the communications, which is the communication budget for emergency management, because that is a separate.
It's a separate thing.
Right.
right, but wouldn't it have been in the 2021, 2022, and
No, because we
2023?
consolidated
No,
it
because
in
this is the
20.
consolidation now.
Okay.
So if you scroll through here, if they actually left the line item in, and let's just use, I don't know,
Well, we
we'll
got-
use the police department for an example, okay? If they left the line item in there, that line item would have a 0 for communications in there, and then you would see what they spent on communications every other year prior to that.
Prior to.
But I think because it was
2023.
consolidated, they probably took the entire line item away. So prior to this year that we're working on now.
Okay. I was trying to do a comparison on that.
So through the
For-
chair, so 22, 23 budget year is when we started combining and moving everything over.
Right.
Prior to that, if you look into, as Chair said, to each department, you will see the money was in their line item, in their budget, and now you see a 0.
So it stopped after 2021 through 2023 on most of them. I mean, I'm seeing it
Yeah, 21, well,
21, 22,
yeah, 21 to
22.
22 is the last budget when everybody had that in there, and then the 22 to 23
Right. So I
is kind of when
wasn't,
things started to change
Yes.
over.
and I understand that and respect it, but since we were just doing it now, we had these in our budgets last year. Under 22, 23.
22, 23, 2022, 2023, it was all combined, as you see it there. It wasn't in each department's line item.
Got it.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
still in the process of
Okay. Thank you.
being all consolidated.
Thank you for that clarification. I was just trying to see everything there and then add up that column to this column just for grins and ha-has. Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, anything else on computers and data processing? Okay. I think he did a pretty good job explaining most of this stuff. When it comes down to computers, I have no idea what any of this is, so his explanations were pretty good. Like,
They worked.
well, light tower, LAN, whatever. All right, moving through town operations buildings. Okay. So, you were looking for $789,006. Okay. First select woman is looking for $734,006. Jason, I have just a question, and this is just probably my OCD. What's up with the $6 at the end? Is that like we can't round that up? or down or something?
Somebody's
It
salary.
looks like that's actually a salary amount.
Oh, okay.
So,
Is it? Okay.
For the contract.
Okay.
And for those of us new to
Yeah,
the chair,
it's a salary.
director, and manager of operations is
So, Jason, just to clarify for everybody, Betty Ann, what was your question?
good, just as we had done previously for those new, the director of operations and manager of operations. The employee.
The
What's
director of
Tom?
operation is Tony Pacerda.
Oh, Tommy.
Tony.
The manager of operation is Dee Caruso.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. And anybody have any questions in regards to the town operations and town buildings?
No cameras.
Yeah, so Rich,
Yeah, go ahead.
his salary for the director of operations would increase 12.3% from this year, for this 1 year.
Is that normal?
Is that another late contract?
Yeah, Jason, was that included in one of those rollover contract things that was a late negotiation?
101.
For the director of operations?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, that's not.
No,
What is
because I asked the question and I said, that's the annual increase or carryover? He said annual. So he
So
It's
those were
quite
the,
clear.
the contracts to get everybody on the same pay scale because Tony oversees, as is Dr. Compton, the facilities director, he oversees other people to have them making more than what the person overseeing them does. They made everybody the same. And that's also part of he has a 5-year contract. So it included the raises to his contract.
So that wouldn't be increased following next year?
No, he'll get a 2 point, whatever the.
Yeah, the standard
Standard.
union raise or whatever it is next year. So this was pretty much, it was just to catch up. That's
Okay.
how I'm understanding it.
That's his current contract for
Yep.
next year, yes, the current salary.
Okay. No OT.
So on the original sheet for the regular employees was submitted at 190, which was the 2.49% increase. And now it's 208. Yeah, a 12%.
How did
So
that
the
change?
regular salary employees also include the town facility people who were in their contracts as well. That's our custodial staff is included in the regular employees as well.
So that was a miss on the original submission to us.
Department request was 208,160 for selectmen. Am I looking at the wrong line?
Well, in my binder, it
Was
was
there
Yeah.
a contract?
Yes.
2124 submitted to us as 190.
I'd have to look
Okay.
it up. Yeah,
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so this will be another thing that will.
Yeah, I just
Get
want to
back
make
to
sure
you on
because
Wednesday.
that's a $18,000
Right.
increase to that line.
And when you're talking
So
about
we
a
can-
salary
yeah.
too.
Right,
that's-
because I mean, it's in
Mm,
line, it's the
some-
2.49, which seems to
Town
be the,
operations.
Reasonable. Yeah.
right.
How many years, like 4 different employees?
All right. So Jason, if you could just check on that and talk about that first thing on Wednesday as well. Okay. Anything else for this department before we move on?
Wednesday?
Okay. Town buildings and utilities. All right. So this is where we find all of the electricity, heating, fuel. Okay. So again, that was another thing that the finance department, the first select woman's office, kind of sits down and calculates, and these are usually projections. I wish we had, that crystal ball that
ball.
said this is how much gas is going to cost next year. So originally they came to us with 345,490. They revised their projections a little bit and they brought it down to 329,410, and that's based on trends and the other formulas that they use to come up with this. Yes.
And if I may, through the chair,
Mhm.
remember that this was also one of the line items that was decimated.
Yes. It, that's
Yeah.
one thing that I think it is important to just note, I think, for everybody up here, because again, last year, I mean, we went through this process multiple times and but basically the budgets were shaped a little too thin, I think, last year. And as you see, we're kind of feeling those effects now,
Yep.
especially when we talk about like public works, things are getting very, very close. So if you notice, some of these things might be a little bit higher than usual. We need to kind of get back to like the normal operating costs, and of course you add in all of the new things, contractuals and whatnot. Um, so with the fuel and electricity, is there anything that anybody wants to talk about?
On fuel purchases, were they talking about grouping with other towns, getting a better rate?
Yeah,
Gonna do that?
they're
A,
dramatically low.
a consortium.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, it's good they're down
I thought they were
dramatically.
looking at that once.
We would actually have to pay more.
They never looked at it though, like, or
If we
officially.
looked at it, we would actually have to pay more.
Yeah.
And this is not the place to ask how it went down so dramatically for heating fuel.
Well, you know, the Board of Ed jumped at the debate to move out of 98 Bank Street. So we don't have to pay for 98 Bank Street.
Yay!
The money pit.
Just wanted to point that out. It's like, good deal. That's a party. Thank you.
So the electricity for the library moved over, I see.
Yeah.
But the gas and heating for the library, they submitted 16 and it's 0.
All right, what do you guys want to do with that? You want to move the library heating fuel over into our column?
Because they don't have it in theirs.
Right.
No, they must, well, they pay it out of
Well,
their
they get it
grants.
out of the Worcester Fund.
Yeah, they pay it out of their
But
grant.
we're taking the electricity, shouldn't we take the?
It was kind of my thought as
I'm
well.
trying.
It was kind of my thought as well on that. But again, it's what everybody wants to do up here. And we were talking about $16,080. It's not
Sorry.
hundreds of thousands, you know.
I just thought the agreement was we were going to take it so they didn't have to use the Worcester, but
What do you guys want to do?
It's your budget now.
We'll leave it where it is.
I'm going to stay out of that one.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes down
do
to
they
that.
have it?
Mainly
Oh,
because
they,
just
you
for
said they
disclosure.
put it in the Worcester.
My wife's
they
on the
use it out of the
library
Worcester.
board, so
Yeah.
I'm staying out of that.
You abstaining?
I'm going to abstain from that one, yeah. You guys figure out what you want to do there.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a mess. If it's
Mhm.
out, it's out.
Yeah.
That's fine.
All right,
I
so
would
we're
leave it
leaving it out. Or we're putting it in.
Leaving it out.
Leave it out.
Leaving it out, leaving it out,
Leave it out.
leaving it out. Okay, we're leaving it out. All right. Town engineer. Let's see. They're looking for 161,000. First select woman came to us with 161,000. And again, I think this is another one of those that kind of is what it is. Most things don't fluctuate too much, it looks like.
Oh,
50% increase
Right.
in purchase services.
total increase of 18.5%.
So
Hey,
question.
Chair?
Yeah.
So purchase services is again when we have projects that we want to do in town, or if we have to have planning and zoning involved, the engineer gets involved in that as well. We, if there's thoughts about if something's a town-owned property or not a town-owned property, we have to have them do surveys. We have to have them on site if we have to rip up some paving of the road, like we have to do over here to fix the lighting on Bank Street. So the busier, as Seymour is growing, we are using them more and more. So that's why we increase purchase services.
Yeah, 161,000 is in line with the department request. Anybody got any questions on that one?
Just a real
Thoughts?
quick one on the purchase services. Does it affect the road work that is being performed throughout town?
Yes.
Direct
So
projects.
glad you asked.
I had to. That's what I'm here for.
That's right. So as you all know, through the chair, we have the whole Bungie, Botsford Road, West Church Street, beautiful project going on that's set to kick off come the fall. Actually, we're gonna start digging up in June. So when they have to write letters upon letters upon letters of easements, to people, that's included in the other purchase services. When they're drawing up for the drawings for the lot set for the Clinton Road, Maple Street 313 area, that's included because none of that is covered in lot set funding.
Okay.
None of that is covered in grant funding.
Good
And
answer.
the next one we're going for is Pearl Street.
Yep.
So we plan on, we have a lot of things coming into town that I can't speak about yet. We have a lot of road projects planned.
Right.
And that's covered in there.
Perfect answer. Thank you.
Anything else with the engineer? No? Moving on, town contributions. This is something that we have been doing historically now for quite some time. And these are for some organizations. This was the town contributions miscellaneous, which is where you'll see things for, conference at CCM, Transit District, Housatonic Valley Association, Council of Small Towns, the veteran graves, things like that. The Richard Pearson Memorial Fund. So that one, again, the Selectwoman's Office, the Finance Department, they get together and they figure out what the contributions should be for the year. And they came up with $25,250, and it still has been $25,250. Yes.
Through the chair before anybody attacks me for Potter's Field. You notice $1,000 is missing out of Potter's Field because the town now owns the cemetery on Derby Avenue, so we don't have to pay to maintain it because we already maintain it.
Okay. Okay, everybody.
Yep.
Good with the town contributions for the miscellaneous ones this year.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. Moving through town contributions, health. Okay, so this is things like United Way, Masters Community Table, which is a service that we heard a presentation last year. Just for everybody that wasn't on this board, the gentleman came down, explained to us what it is. It's a meal service where people who are hungry could go and get a nice hot meal. So the town has been giving them a donation since last year. These are things for Parent-Child Resource Center, BH Care, Regional Mental Health, Rape Crisis Center, Domestic Violence Services, and things. So initially, the department request was $16,400. Throughout the process, they made some adjustments, and it came down to $15,400 in the town contributions for the health side of the contributions. And these are things that benefit a lot of people in the community.
Which is great. Why is it 6.94 when it went down? That's good.
Through the chair.
Yes.
Sorry, I apologize.
Mhm.
United Way is a new,
Yeah, they had
Oh, that's right. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yep.
Right.
I was. Never mind. Belay that.
When
I was.
we're talking about a 6.94%.
Like numbers
You
went
think
down,
like,
and I'm like,
oh,
it's only
6.94, but it's only 6.94 on 15,000.
Yeah, the bouncing ball fell into the wrong column. We've been looking at too many numbers. Okay.
Anybody have any questions on that down here?
Nope.
Everybody's all right with
Good.
these contributions, I hope.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just for clarification here, the 6.94 is you've got to compare last year's budget to this year's.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have the 14.4, it's up 1,000 to 15.4.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
She had a
which is
little
the
brain
$1,000 to the
brain blip.
United Way.
Okay, yep.
Okay. Now town contributions for recreation. These are things that our kids like to do and our town likes to participate in. So again, these are things like Seymour Soccer Association, Pop Warner. What else do we got on there? The Little League, fireworks at the land trust, Christmas fireworks at the land trust.
They haven't
Oh
had it yet.
yeah, they took that out. Look at that. Okay.
No, it's combined in the 25,000.
Question.
Boys and Girls Club, Housatonic, Boy Scouts of America,
Where's Boy Scouts of America?
BSA, Housatonic BSA.
I have a
That's
question.
something that we had
Couple
talked about.
questions. Okay, I noticed that that you reduced a couple of the events or by $1,000, like uh, Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth, we have
So
not.
Seymour, let me
have-
just,
Oh, sorry.
I want to just, that's okay. I could have just, you reduced it $1,000. But then the Pumpkin Festival, you didn't even touch. And I feel that if you're reducing the other ones that are really concerned getting money for children's recreation, that the Pumpkin Festival probably could be reduced a little bit too, because they certainly earn money by selling spots and so forth. And I know they give donations with the money that they make, but I still feel that, if you're going to cut back on everyone else, that they should be cut back on.
I understand what you're saying, and Babe Ruth, we haven't funded since 2021 because Babe Ruth is no longer.
Right, I know that. I understand that.
And everyone, we did cut back $1,000 on it. For
Right.
the Pumpkin Festival, we took down from 5,500 to 5,000 for the past couple of years. We started in 23, 24, and we kept them this year. That actually pays for the police department.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this. I'm
If you guys
not
want
to
just
cut
going
the
from 5,000 to 5,000.
Yeah, the $10,000 is for team.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Team is $10,000. The Pumpkin Fest is been.
Wait a minute.
Five.
Wait a minute.
Pumpkin
Yeah,
Festival
5,000.
Association, they requested in 2024, 5,000. That's what I have
Pumpkin
here.
Festival always
They
requests
requested 5,000
Pumpkin
again
Festival's 5,000.
for this fiscal year, and it looks like you included, I'm looking at 891.
Yes, if you wish to cut the Pumpkin Festival, that's fine. I didn't cut team.
I just suggest that since the others are being cut, that they should be.
Well,
I mean, I personally feel that they earn money. They earn, and they have expenses. But there's also children's activities that work hard to provide for a lot of the families that cannot pay for maybe a uniform or something. And I know that with those different organizations, they pick those people up by asking them maybe to work at the food stand or something like that, and do not charge the fees. Whereas, the Pumpkin Festival does well every year, that maybe we could cut back a little on them also. I'm suggesting we cut back at least $1,000 on them also, as we did on the others.
All right, let's get to the
That's just my suggestion.
all right. So you're requesting that we
Look
cut
at this
$1,000
at
from the
$1,000
Pumpkin Fest.
reduction
Right.
on line number 891.
I mean, really, are we going to sit here and nickel
No.
and dime this tonight?
No, tonight, no.
I mean, come on.
Tonight, if we can get through,
It's-
like,
Or could we increase everyone back to $1,000?
I mean, I think that,
Well, if we're doing cutting back on everything,
the choices that we have are either increase everything else to $1,000 or entertain decreasing the Pumpkin Festival.
uh,
And I really don't see where $1,000 is going to pick up any
Well,
serious
then why are
movement
we-
here.
Then why are we
Well-
cutting the others $1,000 when they are in need of the funding also?
Question to the chair.
We're cutting,
Hang on.
we're cutting, soccer, Pop Warner, Little League, that has been, all of these activities have been going on for years and years and years. The Seymour, Little League actually, pays for are actually asking to have each year their, taxes
Because they,
waived because they're actually being taxed on their field.
Casa Grande left the Casa Grande field, Dr. Casa Grande left the Casa Grande
I'm
field,
familiar
right?
with that. 'Cause
You're familiar, they get a tax abatement every year as per what the record
yes,
states that
you
they
have,
should get.
yes. Because of the way that's set up as a field.
Mhm.
It's, so they have expenses too, water and all of that, electricity, and as well as providing, uniforms and everything else. So, I mean, if you're going to be cutting them back, you say, well, $1,000 isn't that much, then why is $1,000 not enough for the others? So you're either, my thought is decreasing Pumpkin Festival 1,000 or adding
Increasing all the others.
$1,000 to the others.
Well, Betty Ann, you had a thought.
My only thought was that because this laundry list is so long before we get caught up in the little bits that as we're picking through everything, well, we've got Jason here with numbers and so forth. My understanding was we were going to go through each line with notes to go back to cut.
No, this is it.
Okay.
This is what we're doing here tonight.
Right. So it's
We are coming up with our suggested changes
Mhm.
tonight on the
Okay.
expenditures, with the exception of the two things already that we asked Jason to look into
Right.
that we will revisit
Okay.
on Wednesday.
Then I got caught up with that. My mistake.
Okay.
Forget that.
Yeah,
Strike that from the
you
record.
had a
Yeah.
thought.
what I would say is I would give back the $1,000 to the Little League because they have a good attendance of kids that are in town and they attend all our parades and everything and they always do a lot. And I would cut the Pumpkin Festival by 1,000. That's my suggestion.
Okay. What does everybody think about that? I think it's either we leave the Pumpkin Fest alone and we increase everything else, or we leave everything else alone and decrease the Pumpkin Fest.
Well, I don't
That
think
just
you-
makes more sense because then if we go through
yeah, I don't
and
think
you
you
say,
should
oh,
take for the
Little
League.
League,
They
Little League
have a
does
bit-
stuff, so does Pop Warner to the same extent.
Right.
Yeah,
There's no
but-
difference there.
but
At
I
least that's the way that I see it.
I've always seen the Little League in the parades in
Same
town.
thing with Pop Warner.
And same.
They're
with
all
the,
in
But they
Yeah,
have a
soccer.
big group. The Little League
Soccer
has a
has
big
lot of
group.
players, too.
Through the chair, if I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would then suggest, if it's gonna cost such dismay, if we're gonna give $1,000 back to George J. Hummel Little League, which has a lot of children, as does Seymour Pop Warner, then if we're going to give back to one, we should give back to the all.
Mhm.
Because you have
I agree.
you have to either cut them all or give them all. And that's why each one was cut,
Yep.
except for the Pumpkin Festival, because that pays for the police officers.
Mr. Chairman, if I
Yes.
We previously saved $3,000 on the assessor's budget
Mhm.
by cutting out the requirement for the signature. Why don't we just add $1,000 and restore the soccer, Pop Warner, and the Little League?
Do.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, since we do have that $3,000 in that adjustment, I mean, and thank you for bringing that to our attention up here. Because so I think that's probably the route that we should go. I mean, if the Seymour Pumpkin Festival, that $5,000 has a purpose, and that goes to pay the police officers for the event. If we cut them $1,000, so then what? That's $1,000 that the police officers aren't going to get for that
No,
event. It's going to
the-
come out of somewhere else.
Yeah, but they earn money.
Yeah, it'll come out of somewhere else. But
They'd still have to
No,
request
they
it.
earn money from. I mean, they charge people to. They charge the vendors, including people that have
Mhm.
organizations in town that are want to have a booth. They get charged also.
Right.
So
Okay.
I mean, they don't give
so
the Seymour resident organizations any break
No, it's a cost for the
when they
police.
try to get their organization to go in there to raise money.
Mhm.
So I mean,
Call for a motion.
I'm
Okay, so-
sorry, I
Well,
don't mean to be picking on them, but being involved in all of these activities, I know the operations of them. And, you know, I mean, I know with the youth groups, they don't turn anyone away because of financial problems. But you don't go into the pumpkin festival unless you pay for the booth, regardless if you're
Okay.
out of town or in town.
Okay. All right. So let's come to a consensus on this. So it seems like we cut the pumpkin festival $1,000, and then we add 1,000 back into soccer, Pop Warner, and Little League.
Okay.
Fine.
How does everybody feel about that?
I mean, that's
Because that way,
Well, I'm
Yeah,
just
you know, I
saying,
get
keep
Lucy.
it
I
even,
get
either-
Lucy's
either-
point, right?
Right.
You know, when it comes down to the pumpkin fest, sure, people go in there, they pay, they create revenue. Okay. Whereas the sports programs, this money helps those that can't really
yeah.
afford it. Yes.
My only question is, we've been told that 5,000 pays for police.
So they take it out of their other funds that they make.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, does everybody feel comfortable
Yep.
adding $1,000 back into
the three
the Pop
sports.
Warner, the Little League, and the Soccer Association,
Yes.
Yes.
and then deducting $1,000
From the pumpkin.
from the
fest.
Pumpkin Fest,
Mhm.
where we're going to leave the Pumpkin Fest alone and just add the $1,000 back in?
I'd leave it where it is at 5. That'd be my vote.
Just leave it.
Yeah, I think that I would leave it as well. That's kind of what I'm saying. But add the $1,000 to the kids' sports organizations.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and
Well, that was
Pumpkin
one vote.
Festival as it is.
And leave the Pumpkin Fest as it is. Yeah.
That would
That
be,
way it's fair on that
Okay.
sense.
Sounds good.
Okay?
I mean, it's
Because-
kind of fair, but you know,
Well, we're bringing it back to what it was historically. Last year, Pumpkin Fest was 5,000, and then the kids' sports were 3.
Yep.
You know, so we
Is that
keep
okay
it the
with
same. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Jason, you got it up there already. So we're going to leave the Pumpkin Fest alone at that 5,000,
Let's move on.
and then we are adding $1,000 to those. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Wow.
Painful.
Town
Sorry,
contributions. Okay, we're done with the contributions for now. So police department is the next one on here. Okay. So they were looking for, and they're one of our larger departments, $4,763,729. And the first select one came to us with $4,686,803. Any questions on that?
I just want to make one comment. I really was pleased at the information that we received on the salaries and how they were broken down and how many officers at it, each group.
Right, yeah.
It makes more sense than, because when you see, you know, salaries of uniformed policemen and just a big hunk of something.
Right. Yeah,
it doesn't
Chief
make
Bugarati
sense.
has
At
done
least
an
you know
incredible
what-
job
what
with
the
his
salary
budget.
scale is. So I was pleased they gave us the information. I hope we get that from the Board of Ed as I requested.
Let's see what happens
after
on
the
Monday.
first meeting.
That's a Monday.
That's Monday's discussion. Right now, we're dealing with the police department.
I don't want
I think it
names
looks
like the
good.
police department, but at least break down the steps on how many are in each step and what the,
Okay, that's
the cost of each step is.
for Monday's discussion. Okay. I mean, right now it's
Late.
getting late, and we got a lot to do still.
Let's go.
I
Okay.
understand that, but it
So we're
seems like
staying out of the revenue.
every other department has broken employees down and they haven't.
Okay. All right. We'll make sure that happens then on Monday's meeting.
Minus
Thank you.
22.
All right. So police department. Any thoughts on the police department?
Is,
No,
is,
I'm good.
is the gas cut?
What, you mean heating fuel?
Gasoline.
Yes.
We're trending pretty high.
Yeah, he was looking for 87,133.
We're trending pretty high. Right now we're trending, but we
No.
were at 80 last year.
Yeah, and he's looking for 80 next year.
Just seems to be trending high. Maybe that was just that $4 and $5 gig.
Jason, would you say that the projection of that 80,000 is in line with everybody else's fuel so far for gasoline?
44 already.
Yeah, so it looks like 44,000 as of the end of February.
Prices have been lower, so.
Through the chair, I still think we have our gas contingency for this year. For that, next year, we feel the numbers will be lowering, will be steadying out,
Okay.
so we kind of put the contingency.
Okay.
Okay.
Good information. Thank you.
Okay, anything else on the police department? Well, moving on. Communications Commission. Okay. So they came to us looking for 184,887. And the first select woman came to us with 184,887.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions on that? No? Okay. Moving on, emergency management. They came to us with 17,245. Anne Marie came to us with 17,245. This is all the things like Homeland Security.
Mommy!
All right.
Must be mommy.
Sorry. Let's see.
That was funny.
The pod rental. Actually, what? Okay, they took
It's
that
not
out
that
for this year. Okay,
They
they
took.
took that out. All right.
Thank you.
Good girl.
Okay.
So they came to us with 32,000.
Right.
So now it's been cut back to 17. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good in my mind, but
Okay. So everybody's okay with that?
the pod
Yep.
rental's out.
Okay.
Just you can.
Moving on.
Thanks.
Ambulances.
So that would be the Seymour ambulance.
16-year pod rental.
Seymour ambulance came looking for 187,364, and our first select woman came with us to us with 187,364. Any questions there? No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, VEMS. So
That's a fixed amount.
yeah, it's fixed. Yeah, 35,000.
Mm-hmm.
Been like that for a bit. Any questions on that?
Mm.
Lake Authority, same thing. Fixed amount. Okay, fire department.
Mr. Chairman, before we move on?
Yeah.
If I can just rewind to the emergency management for a second.
Mhm.
There was a comment by the board regarding the original budget submission and what's being presented here tonight. There was an $8,000 repair and maintenance to the vehicle that was scrapped that night. I don't know if you recall.
Oh, I don't recall. Okay. That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, fire department.
Wait, can we just go back one second?
Oh yeah.
To the ambulance.
Mhm.
The annual payment. So it's been 25,000, and then for the budget this year is 65. There's no actuals yet. What is that payment?
23, 24, that's your annual splitting it.
So it's 65 this year and going forward.
It was 65, 23 to 24.
Right, and there's no actuals yet.
No, no, but because they have to order the ambulance.
Okay,
So, but yes, that's when they came for the ambulance.
okay.
Everybody good there?
Mhm.
Okay, moving on. Fire department. They came to us looking for 355,800. First select woman came to us with 348,800. Any questions there? Comments, questions for the fire department's budget?
Trying to see where it came up. OSHA. Repairs and maintenance as well. No, I'm sorry. Wrong.
OSHA.
Clothing.
Yeah.
Sorry, through the chair, we took clothing out. We took out one set of gear,
Mm-hmm.
but they still have enough gear for all their firefighters. We just took out one set.
Okay.
So everybody's good with that?
Yep.
Okay, water, fire hydrants.
Hmm.
Yeah. 440,000 they came to us. First select woman came to us with 430,000.
Pray.
Right.
So your projections are a little bit more fine tuned for the water usage.
Through the fire marshal and I talked about that. That should be about right.
Cool.
Good.
Very good. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay, the fire marshal. Speaking of, he was looking for 181,752. Emery came to us with 181,752.
Okay.
Any questions or comments on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Office of Building Compliance. Okay, they came to us with 298,650. And Amory has come
like
to us
100.
with 274,950. That's a. Any questions there?
Is the director's salary another late development on?
Yeah, I think that was one. Jason, was that? Yes. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Through the chair, so yes, so he is in the union, and that was a negotiation going on. So that was a hold up and then bringing it back up. So yeah.
Just every year they come in late like that?
That's a those union contracts are 5 year.
Oh.
So he was part of the union contract.
Just wish they were settled earlier to keep things from spiking up,
We
right?
have to do our budget in May, so the contracts run normally until June. And we have to have a budget to the town clerk by April 1st. You know, those silly charters.
Regulations.
Those minor details, right?
Yeah, it's all the regulations. Anything else? Everybody's good?
Zoning enforcement officer, who is that?
So they hired a zoning enforcement officer, and that is due to all the stuff that's involved in the buildings that are going in,
So that's new.
projects that are going in. That is what Jim spoke about when he presented
Yep.
as well. How we needed a new zoning officer, and we have a new zoning officer. We have a zoning officer, and we also have we'll have a part-time flag officer.
Okay. And the new employee name?
I-
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, that's
Irrelevant.
that's employee.
Never mind.
Yeah, they're still going through that process
Yep.
of hiring.
Got it. That's why I said never mind.
Okay, moving on. Highway wages and maintenance. This would be Public Works Part 1. Okay. They came to us looking for 2,075,201. First select woman came to us with 1,909,938. Okay, looks like the major swings in this would have been the snow plowing
Mhm.
overtime and snow plowing materials.
Laborers.
And those two things are things that usually, if needed, would come out of contingency.
Yep.
And we did do that last year, and that was another one of those items that ended up getting cut even further,
Yep.
which put us in a really bad position at the moment. Hopefully, we don't have any more snowstorms.
Catch basins.
Yeah,
I have a
let's.
question, Rich.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're on the board, right? So
Yep.
there's nothing in for a new vehicle. Have you already put a little bit for a vehicle? They're not doing that.
It's in capital.
Yeah, that
It's in capital.
usually goes in his capital plan. And I know last year, with ARPA and everything, this year we actually have a
Right.
capital plan this year. So you'll see some of that stuff there when we get there. Actually, I think we're almost there. Almost at that part. Any other questions?
So what qualifies as capital? I mean, I
Um,
know in my world what
like
qualified.
large purchases like vehicles, any huge equipment, things like that.
So the ambulance, that's
Through the chair.
Yeah.
The ambulance is not actually a department of the town of Seymour. It's a quasi.
okay.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions?
Is there a dollar limit, like, for capital?
That's a good question. I should probably know this too. Jason, is there a dollar amount?
We do have a dollar amount for our financial statements, and it's $5,000.
That's what we had. Yep.
Okay.
It's silly, but
Okay, so everybody is okay with Public Works?
Yep.
Okay,
if
moving
they,
on.
if they fix Peach Drive. Sorry.
What's up?
Nothing.
No, go ahead.
I said if they fix Peach Drive.
I know. I've been after him to fix my road too. Being on the board and this board doesn't help much. I think it makes it worse, actually.
Well, they review all the streets every year. So.
Yeah, no, they have a binder up in the select woman's office with the roads A to Z, and they're graded as to who's got priority and grades.
Just go buy a pocket full of pansies and drop
Right.
them in each pothole
Start-
so people can smile at them as they go by.
The budget wasn't cut so much last year that maybe they wasn't filling the potholes. Ooh.
Yeah.
Some people
Instead, we're
didn't
planting
vote
cones
for
in them
those
this year.
cuts.
I'll look at Peach Drive, Tracy.
All right,
Hey,
so now we
boy.
got this would be Public Works Part 2, which is also known as Highway Materials.
Okay.
This is where potholes come in.
Yep.
All right, so 85,000 is what they came to us with. Anne Marie came to us with 60,000. Any questions on that?
There should be a minus, not a zero, right? For
Yeah, Jason, could
Jason.
you see
Negative,
what happened there?
negative number. The subtotal of highway materials.
Yeah, so you're going from the budget last year of 60,000.
Yeah, it's equal. It's
Equal.
it's even.
So
Okay, I see that. Yeah,
Zero. It's not.
Sorry.
gotcha.
request.
Yeah, sometimes
The
it's
bouncing balls
yeah,
starting
as
to fall
we're
out of the
going
line.
through this
Sorry.
process here. Sometimes we're at that point now where, okay. Street lighting. So that's originally they were looking for 180,000, and first select woman came to us with 160,000, and that make it work with that, and that is equal. The 160,000 is equal to the 23-24 budget. So there was no change there. Any questions there?
Was that for upgrades in the streetlights?
Yeah, it's just the maintenance and stuff. Yeah,
Is that part of
bulbs.
the program you guys had?
That
Put
counts for
LEDs
controls.
and all that?
So
Yeah.
Through the chair.
Mhm.
So we have the streetlights are starting to get older now, so they need to start being replaced. That's why I put them in there.
Any other questions on the street lighting?
So we own them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, sanitation transfer station. So that also is kind of part of Public Works as well. So we can call this Public Works 3. They were looking for 133,622. Anne Marie came to us with 133,622. So that is
Not
what
much,
they were looking for, and that's all the stuff up at the transfer station.
not much we can do there.
Any questions there?
Ugh.
Yeah. Okay, moving through. Waste collection. This is one that we always usually beat down pretty good because it is what it is. It's a contract.
Yep.
As much as we might not like it, there's nothing we could do about it until the contract is up at this time.
Actually, through the
Unless you
chair,
want to tell us something good.
No, a 2.41 now increase is actually very good considering where other towns are at. They're trying to negotiate,
That's good.
especially with the solid waste issues we're having in the state.
Well, it's not too bad of an increase for them.
Plus, Amory, didn't they help out doing upgrades at the station too?
Through the chair, yes, we have they redid the hopper up there, some fencing. So yes.
Any other questions on the garbage collection?
Yeah, I had one question. That 35,000. Can you tell me what that's for? Purchase service garbage commercial. It wasn't in last year, but it's in this year.
Jason, do you know what that is?
I'd have to go back and check the notes. I don't off the top of my head.
Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. Does that have something to do with the new scale that was put in?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't
Upgrade.
in last
Scale.
year 'cause
We didn't have a scale,
so
the
we put it
working
away.
one.
We put in charges for our commercial waste when we take out of the town buildings, the library, town hall.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
So we can just add that in next time. Scale?
You want us to add the
No.
scale?
No.
Yeah, no, that'll.
It's just, I'm just notes to
It's
self.
it's a purchase service, mainly because the scale was just installed. It's new.
Yes.
So we're probably not going to see that next year. Or I mean, on the next budget. You know.
So why wouldn't you have to pay a contract to maintain it? No.
Yeah, we're not sure yet.
We'll have
This is the
Jason
first
look
year
at
we
it.
have the thing going. So
Okay.
So on the sheet, if I look back on the sheet that was submitted,
Mhm.
that amount was gasoline ECS clause. It wasn't listed
So
as
diesel is now is getting close to $4 a gallon, and the ECS clause in our contract is once diesel goes over $4 a gallon, we have to have money in it.
so it's really not a purchase service commercial, or is it the
It is actually a
ECS?
purchase service because if we don't go over the $4 a gallon, we don't have to pay that, but we
Okay.
still have to budget because diesel is getting close to $4.
So
a
then
gallon.
that's what that number
so
is.
that's what that is. Okay, so it's not the scale.
But we did put a scale.
We
in.
did get the
So
scale.
we do have to weigh.
But the 35,000 should go up to the gasoline ECS clause? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's what it says on the sheet that they submitted to us.
And
Okay.
that would actually make sense because the budgeted year for 23-24 is 36,000.
Right. All right, Jason, could you just do us a favor and move those up into the ECS clause, since it is not actually a purchased service, and ECS has its own line item, just to avoid confusion. Okay, everybody else good with the waste collection?
Yep.
Okay, Valley Health Department, $130,096 and $130,096. That is what it is. It's in line with Amory's budget and with what the request is. Again,
Yep.
Same thing.
Through the chair, if I may, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. But, so the Naugatuck Valley Health Department is what we have to pay per the size of our community to the Naugatuck Valley Health Department for servicing.
Just so everybody knows.
Mhm.
Everybody's good?
Good.
All right. Next up is the dog warden. Does anybody need to take a break, recess, or anything? Or you just want to keep going?
Potty break, let's just keep
Nobody's
going.
got to use. I'm asking if anybody's got to go use the bathroom.
That's fine.
Okay. Is everybody okay? We're gonna keep going.
Keep going. Keep going.
All right, dog warden canine office. All right. Originally that came in at 99,750, and first select woman brought in 90,920.
Excuse me.
Any questions there?
How do they charge us?
It was
They
a,
they do it.
through the chair.
Yeah, go
It
ahead.
was a service contract. They're making some changes down there now. So, that's what we were in with.
Okay.
Okay, community services. And just keep in mind that community services is also a revenue generating department. They came to us looking for 545,799. First select woman came to us looking for 544,299. Is there any questions there or comments?
They only have the one bus now, right? The sold the old one.
Through the chair, no, we still have 2 buses.
You still have 2 buses.
That is correct.
Okay. Lots of maintenance.
I see that.
Any other questions? Okay, Culture and Arts Commission. They came to us looking for 25,600. The first select woman came to us with 20,600, which is what they got last year, which shows zero increase. Yes.
Through the chair, I just met with them last week. They are working on events for the 100th for our anniversary next year.
The 175th, yeah,
Yeah. Can we move them back up to 25,000, please?
sure. Is everybody okay with that?
Sure.
25 plus 6.
The 25,600
No, it's just 2,500.
or just 25,000?
25,000.
Okay. Is everybody all right with that?
Yeah, no 600.
Okay.
600.
You're reading
Through the chair,
actual.
600 is through the general supplies. Purchase services was $25,000.
Okay, Jason, could you make that correction?
I think we're up to date.
Okay.
Do I have that right?
Hang on. Culture and Arts. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. It's 25,600 up there, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Parks. Parks was looking for 114,500. The first select woman came with 112,600. Anybody have any questions or comments there?
Yeah, I have a question on
Yeah.
the rentals. You're decreasing the request. Don't you have a contract on that for a certain amount or like a decrease?
Through the chair,
Mhm.
we do not have a certain amount for a certain. We do not have a contract for a certain amount. We just put 2 permanent bathrooms up at the high school.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions on that? On Parks? All right, moving on. Library. So they came to us looking for 437,247. First select woman came to us with 405,040. And that I believe took out part-time staff was taken out.
Mhm.
Okay, any questions there? Everybody's okay with that?
Mhm.
Okay, moving on. Naugatuck Valley Council of Governments, that is what it is. $11,500 and $11,500 from what the first select woman's request is. And any questions there?
What is that?
That is it's the same 11,500 as the year
No, but
before.
what is-
Anne Marie, could you give us a rundown of what the Naugatuck COG does?
Sure, through the chair, Naugatuck Valley Council of Government is a council of government made up of all the mayors and selectmen throughout the town. we have at our service the brownfields director as well as money for the brownfields. That's where we get our planner from. If we need advice on HR issues, that's where Chris can also go to talk to other HR people. So it's like a small version of Harper. They have everything that we could possibly think of to run a town. They have it up there that we can use without actually having to hire somebody. And
Okay, good. Thank you.
Everybody good with that?
Mhm.
Okay, moving through these next few, these are what we would consider like constants. Okay, things like personnel benefits. That's all calculated, pretty much through the program, the software programs. So there really isn't, it is what it is,
Can't move
basically.
it.
So personnel benefits is what it is.
Yep.
Health insurance, it is what it is. Moving to the next page, Social Security, that is what it is. Retirement, again, that is what it is. Longevity, that is what it is. Town insurance, again, that is what it is. Okay, so now we get down to our town capital. Okay, so this year, the select woman is looking for $225,000. That was originally $320,000. It was taken down to $225,000, and that would be stuff like let's see, they got some of the things they have in here. So just in general capital projects, town building repair fund, the OPEB trust, the truck purchase, the annual F-550 truck purchase, which is the public works vehicle we try to replace every year, the fleet replenish, stuff like that. Is there any questions on the capital plan?
No, should that truck for the police department be put in the capital instead of in the department? No?
No.
Why
I
is
thought
it
it was
different than
I
the
thought it
other
was in a
truck?
different one.
because of the way it's paid for.
The way it's paid for?
And through the chair, so you notice that you'll see that the town capital is up 80%. It's because when we had the ARPA money, we cleared out our capital.
Right. And that was going back to what I was saying last time, a little bit ago, when it came down to the capital projects last year. Our funds took care of all of that.
Okay.
So I know IT requested 80,000 in capital. Is that in this number anywhere? He had a project for replacing the cameras.
Yes.
Yeah, that's in ARPA.
Oh, that's our part. Okay. Thank you.
We still have ARPA money left.
All right. Got it.
Okay. Any other discussion on the capital plan
No.
for this year?
No.
I think $225,000 is pretty modest compared to some that we've seen
Mm-hmm.
in the past. Pretty good.
Well, we nipped it back pretty tight.
Okay, next is town contingency. Okay, so this is all like, just general contingencies. We needed snow plowing money or something,
We'll let you
things
know
like
next
that.
week.
Tax refunds, there's a little there just in case, and volunteer abatement. That's, for our fire department that gets their tax breaks and things like that. So $23,699.16. $23,699,000
23,
Ugh,
23
23.
million.
Yeah. So, Jason, I'm looking at this over here. What's this 6,643,632 in our column? What is that figure?
BOF.
I think that's all
Yeah,
the
we didn't
insurance that
make
was
that
already
yet.
copied
Yep.
over. If you look back on the
Yep.
insurance page, that was all copied over automatically.
What's it doing in our column?
Like it was in our column further up.
Remember through the chair, we said that there was a couple of bugs in this worksheet.
Oh, is this the ISM?
Okay.
This is the ISM? Got it.
I can go back and check some of the formulas here.
God.
But just over the last couple of hours, just based off of memory, we took a little away and we gave a little bit back. I don't think there was anything, if you're comparing the bottom line, I don't think there's anything drastic.
Okay.
So I would expect it to be almost the same as First Select Woman's column.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be.
Oh, it's pretty close. If
It's
that's
real
what you're-
close.
if
Yeah,
that's
it's
your-
within like $1,000 or something.
23 million. It's tough to see here on my small screen, but it looks like 5,000. We'll call it 6,000 rounded versus 22,998,000.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, gotcha. So that's, yeah. All right. All right. So any questions on the contingencies?
No.
No. Okay. And moving down, the senior citizens tax relief, 50,000. It is what it is.
Can't change it.
Stayed flat.
Through the chair?
Yeah.
So the 50,000 is what the circuit breaker program was. The state of Connecticut used to give back to us, and now they don't give anything to us. So we have kept it flat.
Okay. Any other questions on that? Okay. You don't have anything out to bond. All right. So principal. This is all our pretty much like debt. And that is basically what it is. It's not
Can't
how
change
much
it.
we could do there. And it looks like that's it. Okay. Again, we'll go deal with the Board of Education on Monday. So, Jason, where are we at
On Monday or
with
Wednesday?
whatever changes we've made? Yeah, there weren't many at all. But
No, there weren't any at all. Just gonna come right here.
Wednesday we're doing
A little
revenue.
small to see.
Never mind.
So we started out First Select Women's budget 26,628,505, and we ended tonight 26,635,505. 2.25%, about a $7,000 increase from where we started the year.
Okay. And that brings us to the end of the expenditure portion of our budget deliberations.
Thank you for playing.
Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have any comments? Is everybody happy with what we did?
Yes. Anybody?
Everybody? Anybody? Okay. All right. Well, with that, we're going to move on to item number 5, public comment. Second public comment. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. Second public comment is closed. There's nobody here. Item number 6, correspondence. Jason, any email?
I haven't received anything.
Anne Marie, any email? No. Anybody else get anything up here? No. Moving on, item number 7, new business. The new business is Wednesday. This Wednesday, we will be going over the revenues. We'll do it the same way we just did it now. Revenues won't take as long as this. And then next Monday, we'll have a discussion on the Board of Education, and we will finalize this and prepare to send it to the town hearing. With that, item number 8, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Betty Ann and second by Kristen. Is there any discussion?
And
Hearing none. All those in favor?
I
Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Chair votes aye. Motion carries.
wish for next year that the revenues was as much as this and the expenses